Alrighty then, guys. Welcome to another comprehensive draft video. This is Alan, and we will be doing some more Premier Draft Zendikar Rising. I did some Lair of Behemoths drafts a little bit late earlier, but yeah, hopefully this time we can find a nice archetype we can get into and not face against too many Demir opponents or Black-White Life Gain opponents, just completely wrecking us. So let's go. Or we can be the baddies and end up drafting those two archetypes because I think the mere rogues slash mill and black white life gain are definitely the best two color archetypes that you should kind of align yourself into in this set, or at least lean towards. So anyways, pack one, pick one, Zendikar Rising. What do we have to find pleasure of opening today? Ooh, Nissa, okay. Nissa's really strong, although it doesn't have too much +1/+1 counter synergies unless you -5. Um. Okay. It's a fun card to play. So I don't mind taking it here. Alternatively, some good uncommons. Paratactician, good for the red-white warriors deck, or just a deck playing lots of warriors in general. Tangled Florahedron, quite powerful as a nice flexible land that you can play, or a mana rock you can cast early to ramp out your kicker spells or large creatures. And Kargan War Leader, another card that's kind of close. I think the Kargan War Leader is better than the Paratactician, and I think the Paratactician is going to be at its best in a red-white deck anyway, so I'd probably lean towards Kargan War Leader over Paratactician, even though Paratactician is single white. But here, we're just going to take Nissa. Yeah, and then we're just going to draft a black-green deck, or end up splashing Nissa in the green deck. And yeah, hopefully we can get the landfall synergies going. Skyclave Shadowcat is quite strong. It's going to be at its best in the black-green deck, so it does fit perfectly with Nissa in the same deck. However, there's also Feed the Swarm, which is quite strong. Thundering Rebuke is also strong, but I don't mind just taking a black card in this pack to stay on theme. So, I don't know, maybe we won't be splashing black and we're just going to go straight up black-green. And in this case, which card do I prefer? The Shadowcat or the Feed the Swarm? Feed the Swarm is at common, so we can probably take up one later. It's probably the third best black common in the set, maybe like behind like Vanquish the Weak, since you do still lose life using this. That being said, it is more flexible, so if we have to abandon Nissa and not beat in black-green, defeat the Swarm is better. So I think I like it here. Skyclave Shadowcat, definitely very strong if we can go all in black-green, but Feed the Swarm is still strong enough. Still flexible, I mean, and yeah, removal is still removal, and we can still be in a good black-green deck without the Skyclave Shadowcat. So I'll take it here. Some good white cards. Kabira's Takedown, Nahiri's Binding. I think I had to take the removal spells over the Ghastly Gloomhunter, which would be pretty solid in the black-green +1/+1 counters deck, but overall we can always pick up one later. Tazim Royal Mage is also pretty solid if I want to be in a more controlling blue-red Wizards deck, getting back my best spells in the late game. So between Kabira Takedown and Nahiri's Binding, I think it's just Kabira Takedown. So we could still end up in some sort of black-white deck, or keep my options open, since there's a chance that green could be cut off. But yeah, this is just a nice mono dual face card, double face card, and just a flexible removal spell as well, and it's cheaper than Nahiri's Binding and easier to cast, so I think Kabira's Takedown is definitely better than Nahiri's Binding. It's also instant speed, so that's also to keep in mind. Alright, some of the green cards are okay. I think, again, Paratactician is going to be at its best in red-whites, so I don't necessarily want to take it, so it's kind of like a hidden red-white gold card, and besides that, I'd rather just take the Lord. Prowling Feldar, pretty decent if you have some landfall synergies. So I think here we can stick with black-green, and maybe we can just take a Dauntless Survivor. I think the best cards are Tazim Royal Mage and Paratactician, but they're not so powerful enough that I'm just gonna switch out of my way and give up on Nissa, just to pick those cards. I would probably take a removal spell here in another color if it's still in the pack, but not these two. So I'm going to take the Dauntless Survivor. Still plays decent to black, green +1/+1 counters theme. I'm gonna keep the Dream Alive. Canopy Baloff would also be pretty decent. Ooh, late Vine Gecko. Happy to see this. Okay. Although blue green is mostly going to be where this is going to excel at its best. There's still a decent number of black kicker spells that you don't mind kicking, and there's a lot of green kicker spells too. And the fact that this also gains a counter is quite nice, so it can give you a decent discount for the for your kicker spell. So seeing this late is a good sign that green is open, and also a late Haggard Constrictor is a sign that the black-green archetype is open. So this does make me very happy seeing this pretty late in the pack. And we were past Feed to Swarm though, so maybe we were just handed golden plate, and we just managed to just stick with our first pick and you know, go through the entire draft with it. Okay, there's a low mage's familiar. I mean, I could still be in blue green, splashing black. Alternatively, there's another there's a Jiraga Visionary, which still keeps us flexible. Yeah, this is also a good card. So all these cards are very good. But if I do switch to a blue card, I do need to make sure I pick up Mana Fixing, which could be kind of a hassle. There's also late Kabira's Takedown, so lots of good cards. I think all 4 of these are really good. I think I'll just keep my options flexible and take a Jiraga Visionary here. This is not necessarily a 3-color set. Although you could splash in green, most of this fixing is at uncommon, so it's not very easy to get unless you can get Reclaim the Waste. Jiraga Visionary still keeps us in green, is very flexible, and yeah, still keeps us in the +1/+1 counter steam. And Dauntless Survivor, definitely one of the premier commons in the black-white, black-green +1/+1 counters deck, so easy pick here. There was an okay Gnarly Colony, excellent, plays well for Vine Gecko, can gain a counter once you kick it for 5. I think this card was a little bit overrated when the set first came out as one of the best green commons, but it's maybe gets a nod for 4th place as best green commons. The best green commons are like Jiraga Visionary, Territorial Scythe Cat, and the Rabbit Bite. But yeah, this is a decent card. You can play it on 2, but I'd rather just kick it with the Vine Gecko, so seems good here. Aiming Haggard Constrictor. Okay, so black-green +1/+1 counters is open, so this does make me happy that I took the flexible option of taking the Jiraga Visionary over the other blue late cards like the Familiar and the Royal over it. But yeah, I guess we just forced black-green, and this is quite nice. Now I can take a Blood Beckoning. I don't really like to draw a Silencer. Black-green usually have a bit of a party theme, but it's not going to be too focused, and there's enough powerful kicker spells that you don't mind kicking at 5 that I don't really need a Turn Timber aesthetic. I like the Blood Beckoning because you can still kick it, and it's just a nice 2-for-1 in the late game. Maybe we play Kite Sailhaven if we need more ways to close out the game. And I'll take a Draw Silencer anyways in case we need party synergies, but I highly doubt it. And I'll take a Broken Wings in case we are lacking interaction. Late practice tactics. It's interesting to note that there was a Kabira tactic that was pretty late in the pack, so white is also open, but I'm happy seeing green open as well, and black. Maybe black is slightly more cut off, but the black-green archetype is open, but not necessarily black. Even a late low mage is familiar. Wow. Okay, I mean, there's a sign we could end up splashing black if we're taking this, but we'll see next pack, and that's a pretty nice bomb rare to open. Okay, Ashaya, Soul of the Wilds. Okay, basically, it's you're going to cast this as a 5/5, since you're going to pay 5 mana to cast this unless you're ramping it, and then any creature that you own that's non-token counts as a 4. So the more creatures you play are also going to pump this. So Ashaya is definitely a very solid first pick. Alternatively, I wish I can pick the Skyclave Shadowcat as well, since I don't mind a copy, and we did pass up one in our first pack after Nissa, and we took Feed the Swarm over it to make sure we have removal. But that being said, Ashaya does lock us up in green. I'm quite happy with that. But there's a chance we could still end up somehow in green-blue if black isn't as open, and seeing this late is a sign. But also Haggard Constrictor was passed to us, Blood Beckoning was passed to us. Okay, so the blue card's not even impressive. Well, Bloodchief's Thirst is excellent, so I guess we're not going to be in blue-green. We'll just stick with blue-black, and green-black, I mean, and this is just a nice flexible spell. 1 mana to kill a creature in the early game, and then if you can kick this for 4 mana, you destroy any creature or planeswalker, and it has synergy with the Vine Gecko, so that's even better. Easy pick here. If this wasn't this pack, probably take the Rebirth. I hope I get 1 copy of Oblivion's Hunger in this +1/+1 counters deck. But it's not a huge priority because some of my creatures don't even care about the counters. But Bloodchief's Thirst is very excellent. Easily the best card in this entire pack. and a good sign that maybe black is open. So this deck is just going according to plan. So yeah, Blood Beckoning mostly is going to be kicked on 4. Bloodchief's Thirst, maybe we don't have to kick, it's very flexible. Okay, this pack kind of sucks. That's a late low mage's domination. Although, if I end up in blue-green, I'm not going to focus too much on putting cards into the opponent's graveyard. Alternatively, I could just take an Into the Royal here. I mean, this is double blue, and we just took a Bloodchief's Thirst, so yeah, I mean, the blue cards are very amazing in this pack, but maybe now it's time for us to pick the Oblivion's Hunger. I mean, I could hate draft this. I would probably hate draft this in the real life pod. So yeah, let's take it here. I mean, there's a chance. There's a very low chance we still end up in blue-green, but yeah, I can't really allow this to stay in the pod. This card is just too broken. Okay, there's another Hagra's Constrictor. Alternatively, there's a Veteran Adventure, which is a nice late-game card. How many party synergies do we have? 2, a Warrior, a Wizard, not too much. So it's not going to be at its best in this deck. But I could still take it here, and hopefully we can wheel a Hagra Constrictor since this is an uncommon and easier to get card. Yeah, I mean, usually 1 or 2 Constrictors is enough. I think the Veteran Adventure could actually be pretty serviceable if we get there. Now I could consider Gloom Hunter or the Tajuru Blightblade, which is a decent rogue to give a discount to our Veteran Adventure, which is quite solid. This has Kicker Synergy, but it's going to be mostly a 6-drop. Unless we get Divine Gecko, we can cast it on 5. It's a solid card. Maybe I still take the Blightblade. Both of these are close. I just took an Adventure, so maybe I don't mind a bit of party synergy. And I can just stick to the Blightblade. Nah, let's just take the Gloom Hunter. I think it's just more important to have. And now another Gnarly Colony is excellent. Yeah, gotta take it here. The Dreadworm I don't mind as a filler 5-drop. Even Seek the Wild is pretty decent to +1/+1 counters deck. So in hindsight, maybe the Hagra Constrictor was better for us. But I'm still fine with this. I don't think we have a lot of rogues for the Expedition Skulker, so it doesn't seem very good. Just take a random spare supplies if I need a way to cantrip. Don't think we're milling the opponent with the Enigma Sky Dancer. Although it's a rogue, I'd rather have the Blightblades on 1 doing the same thing. So didn't see a lot of blue in these last 2 packs, so I'm still happy that we didn't kind of switch into blue. I guess now I just take my Expedition Skulker in case we end up with Tajuru Blightblade to go along with it, and it does give a discount to Veteran Adventure. Kanjaburo pretty late, so white landfall is open. We were past like 2 Kabira's takedowns in the first pack, and then blue seems open. Now I can take my Blightblade. Not even a big fan of Strength with Solidarity. It's 2 all-in with 1 creature, and even then, green, it doesn't focus too much on the party synergy. The party synergy is mostly a sub-theme in the deck. So nice to have a rogue, nice to have some warriors, nice to have a wizard. So yeah, the Veteran Adventure seems solid in this deck. Could play a Blood Price since black-green doesn't have a lot of card draw. But Spare Supplies might just fit the game plan. Or I can take a Might of Marasa, which also has Kicker. Let's take a Might. Maybe we need more interaction, and we need a way to, like, maybe punish the opponent. Wow, late into the Royal shouldn't be passed. I'll take it here. Yeah, blue-green seemed slightly open, but we didn't see a lot of other great blue cards besides the Low Mage's Domination and Into the Royal, so someone else must be drafting blue at the table. But we just got past one here. Even the late Hagra Constrictor, so even though I took the Veteran Adventure over it, I still got paid off of a second copy. It's definitely gonna, the second copy is definitely gonna make the cut, so this is looking solid. So next pack, what do we need? Maybe some more removal, a few more party synergies, and this deck is good. Okay, this pack sucks for us. I think this is a terrible pack in general. I think pack 1, pick 1 will probably just be the Thundering Smart Mage. Even though red is, I think, the worst color in this set, it's still fine. Could take a Malachor Blood Priest for party synergies, but I don't want to miss out on Malachor Rebirth since it's also land and we're almost full on playables. So let's take a Malachor Rebirth. Our MDFC that we're most likely going to cast. Even Colony Ambush is excellent. Nice instant speed spell, and also land we can play. Perfect for the deck. If this wasn't his pack, probably take a Pack Beast to fill out the party synergies. But Colony Ambush it is. Acquisitions Expert can be fine. Since it's a rogue that also gets a little bit of value. Although there's a Maul of the Skyclaves. I guess it takes double white to equip, and if our creature dies, it's not great. I could consider Reclaim the Waste, but I don't think we have anything to splash. Alternatively, the Stonework Pack Beast can be fine, since it does help with the party mechanic. And then maybe we don't have to play this Expedition Skulker, or we still play the Expedition Skulker in the deck. There's also Oblivion's Hunger. Yeah, there's a lots of playables here. I think I'll take the Stonework Pack Beast. I don't think I'm going all in with the Expedition Expert, even though it can be a fine way to get rid of a creature. It's just not a very impressive body. And I wield one anyways, but it just could be the Subtle Strike, just to have more interaction in the deck. Yeah, let's take a Subtle Strike, since we do have a +1/+1 counter theme going. The Haggard Constrictors being our payoffs. That I don't mind a nice combat trick in the deck. And another Bloodchief's Thirst, excellent. Definitely taking it over Gloom Hunter or Gnarled Colony number 3. Arbor Mage can be a fine filler 3-drop. It plays pretty nicely for our large creatures, forcing everyone to block, but it definitely has to be the Thirst here. I can't imagine anything else. Other than landfall payoffs like Nissa, we don't have too much landfall payoffs, so I don't really see a reason taking Kazandu Stomper. Cleric, we're not really 3 colors, it's going to be a 4/5 anyway, so I might as well just take the Aesthetic just to gain some life. Yeah, Aesthetic seems solid. It's a Cleric as well, so that's pretty decent, and a Rabid Bite pretty late. Okay, we'll take the Rabid Bite. And I could just take the Blood Priest, since we do have some party going on. Yeah, Blood Priest could definitely make the cut. Add another Cleric in the deck. Even though Expedition Skulker is a rogue, we don't have too many rogues, like one rogue, which already has Death Touch, and a Stonework Pack Beast, so I could see myself cutting the Expedition Skulker. It doesn't seem very amazing. Take the uncommon for the Vault. And I guess I don't mind like a Marasa Brute, although we have 2 warriors already. We don't have much beef at 3, so I could consider just taking it here. Blood Price could also be pretty decent. But we do have a spare supplies already. I don't know, this is hard. Let's just take a Brute. Yeah, since we don't have much at 3. And it does help with the party mechanic sub-theme in this deck. So cards I can see cutting. Maybe we don't need the Cliffhaven Kite Sail. We should be able to close out the game without it, maybe. Although it does help our creatures get across the finish line. Blood Beckoning I don't hate for some value. Might of Marasa might not be necessary. So this is like 25 cards if we count these as our lands. Colony Ambush most likely won't be a land since it's a fight spell. Even a late Oblivion's Hunger, okay. Could make it or not. It doesn't seem like a high pick. I could also consider cutting the Turn Tibber Aesthetic. Now I guess I can take my Strength with Solidarity. Taunting Arbor Mage actually doesn't seem bad. It's a fine wizard we can play on 3. And also has Kicker. I mean, the Kicker theme is only for the Gecko, so if we don't have the Gecko out, the Kicker theme might not be that great. So let's see, what cards am I not excited about? I could consider cutting the Turn Timber Aesthetic. Visionary, the 4s look good. Hagra looks good. Colony Ambush is a good removal spell, I'm going to put it aside. Marasa Brute, Taunting Arbor Mage don't look too fantastic in this type of deck. Don't mind the spare supplies, but that's also cuttable. Move this away. Mind of Marasa also doesn't look amazing. Put this over to the other side. Gloom Hunter is mostly going to be a 6-drop. We're going to be kicking on 6, or it can be a 2-drop where we load counters onto it. So yeah, without the party theme, our deck is going to look something like this. This is going to be mostly a 5-drop. We're going to be mostly kicking. And the Malika Rebirth is just going to be a land. I think this is a 17 lander from the looks of it, so I can just cut a swamp. So just 4 more cuts. Blood Becking is nice in case we need to get back our stuff. It doesn't get back Planeswalkers, but regardless, Nissa is great either way. And Blightblade I don't mind as a 1-drop since we do have a Rabid Bite. And it's just an early defensive card that we can play. Cell Strike always decent since it has counter synergy. So without the party synergies, we're mostly focused on the counters theme, I think. So if we do add the party synergies, which cards are we looking to cut? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with 6 removal spells might not need Might of Marasa. It does have kicker synergy, but again, we don't want to put all of our eggs in one basket and relying on the Vine Gecko here. So the Might of Marasa could just be cut. It's a fine pump spell, but might not be necessary. We have enough at 5, so maybe we don't need to Turn Timber Ascetic, even though it is a cleric that gains us life. It's better to maybe just have the Malakir Blood Priest on turn 2. Spare Supplies is pretty decent because maybe we need some way to draw cards in the deck, and we don't have much. I guess if we're going to be playing the Blood Priest, I don't mind having the Stonework Pack Beast in the deck as well. So I guess it's either Marasa Brute or Taunting Arbor Mage. I mean, we have 2 Warriors already in the deck, so I don't know how often it is that we care about getting the Brute, and I might just want the extra Wizard for the Jiraga Visionary. So the Marasa Brute can just take the boot, I guess. And I guess Veteran Adventure will also get a discount, so maybe we put it like around 5 or 4 mana, maybe around here. Maybe we can just run away with perhaps 16 lands. I can see this being kicked on 4. Colony Ambush could actually be a land too, but it's mostly, I'd rather have it as a fight spell since we do have some beefy creatures that we don't mind fighting with. The Taunting Arbor Mage is not amazing, but it could have its moments. Maybe if we have a battle where the opponent is forced to play like they have like a small flyer that's smaller than our Ghastly Gloom Hunter, we can kick this and force the flyer to block, or force the opponent to block our like Veteran Adventurer or Gnarled Colony or Ashaya Soul the Wild. So it does have some decent upside in this deck. And yeah, with enough beefy top end, I don't think I need to Turn Timber Aesthetic, making our deck more expensive than it already is. So I guess it's something like this. Looking at the creature count, 15 creatures. I mean, the only party synergy payoffs is like, I guess, the Veteran Adventurer for the deck. So I don't know how all in I need to go in with this party synergy. Other than that, I mean, Marasa Brute isn't even that amazing, so I don't really care. Broken Wings is not amazing. I could consider Cliffhaven Kite Sail if I'm having issues closing out the game. Because how are we going to win? I guess we're just going to win through some beefy creatures trampling through. Maybe we have a bunch of removal spells that can clear a path for our creatures. The Ghastly Gloom Hunter is our only flyer that can get across, so that can be a bit of a problem. And we might need this Cliffhaven Kite Sail to maybe get through. I don't know. The Malakir Blood Priest can also drain a bit, which isn't bad, and it's a fine 2-drop. I could also just consider cutting the Spare Supplies. I mean, I guess... do I need to cut another land? I guess this is 17 land, so I could just cut a land here. And now we can decide to maybe replace something for this Cliffhaven Kite Sail. I think I like the Stonework since it counts as any creature type. But overall, might not be necessary. Because again, only the Veteran Adventure cares about the party synergies, and only the Vine Gecko cares about kicker. So we could still consider something on our sideboard here. How good is Oblivion's Hunger? This can gain a counter, this can gain a counter. This has counters on it. This can gain counters, this can maybe gain a counter. So we do have a bit of a counter. Bit of creatures that can gain counters, but it's still very situational. I don't like it. Expedition Skulker, I don't care about too much. It can gain Death Touch, but it's very situational as well. This is unplayable. This is just another 5-drop that we have already anyways on turn 5. Drawing a Silencer can be okay in this deck, actually. If we're focusing on party, it can actually be pretty decent, actually. But by then, it's a little bit too expensive, I think, and we don't have a bunch of ramp in the deck. Might can also be interesting, because I don't really like 2-1s in the deck. The Spare Supplies can also pretty much go, but I don't have much card draw. And I might need a way to kind of just filter through the deck, and this is almost like 4 mana, draw 2 cards at the very least. So maybe we try something out like this, and hopefully we don't run into the issue where we need to, we might have issues getting across the finish line. Because otherwise I don't know what I'm cutting from this deck. Maybe I just do cut the Blood Priest. Like, I know it's a cleric, but with a rogue, and 2 wizards and 2 warriors and even a stonework pack beast, we probably don't care about this too much. So maybe we can run away with a Cliffhaven Kite Sail. This can be a decent way to deal damage, but I don't think it's enough. Just draining them for like 2 might not be enough, but it is an early 2-drop we can play. But by being able to give like our top end creatures flying can be quite nice. Because again, we can run this situation where we end up in the board stall, the opponent just has enough blockers to deal with us, and that can be a huge problem. So maybe I just do cut the Malachir Blood Priest, just throw in the Cliffhaven Kite Sail, because I don't see an issue of giving this card a discount for party purposes. So we don't have to go in with the whole party mechanic, and this is still fine. Don't think I need Broken Wings, since if I have the Cliffhaven Kite Sail, I can block a flyer. Might can actually be reasonable still, but I think with all the removal spells we should be okay, so we don't really need a pump trick. We're not really super hyper aggressive, we're more mid-rangey, so having something like the Kite Sail can be pretty decent in the late game. Yeah, so I guess we'll try something out like this. And then this does a picture, and then looking at the mana base, slightly favoring green, so I guess we can keep it even split here since it's like 13 and 10, so 8-8 looks good. And yeah, we can still play the Colony Ambush as a land, and there's a chance we could still end up flooding. Like, we do have mana to spend the late game, but we don't have any late game cards, then the mana is not great since all these cheap cards aren't really great mana sinks. Like, I guess the Bloodchief's Thirst are like 4-drops. This is like a 4-drop. Spare Supplies, no, actually, no, that's not a 4-drop. So our curve looks actually something like this, and it's fine with 16 lands. So yeah, let's try it out. Hopefully we can get there. I don't think this deck is broken, I think it's good. But there's definitely going to be some broken decks we're going to run into in this draft, so won't be surprised. Okay, opening hand. We do have a Spare Supplies I don't mind playing on too, just to filter. And we have a Ashaya on 5, so that's pretty decent. Let's keep. The question is, do we just want to play out the Colony as a 2-2, or the Taunting Arbor Mage as a 2-3? Like, I guess I could. Just to maybe have some pressure early on. And I do have another Gnarly Colony in the deck, so let's try it out. Let's play it as a 2-2. So if he doesn't have his creatures, we can kind of punish him and get in for a little bit of damage early on. He does play a Kargan Intimidator, which I don't mind just killing if I get my Black Mana Storage, which I didn't. But we'll just attack here. And if he wants to trade, that's fine. And we'll play the Taunting Arbor Mage anyways. The question is, do I block the Kargan Intimidator? I guess I might. Because he seems to be the more aggressive deck. And this is a good trade. And my Bloodchief's Thirst can be used on something better. And if he pumps this into a 4-power creature, who cares? This card can be pretty annoying if he's going to be aggressive, since it will essentially make my other creatures unable to block. Alright, got one more other way. I can kill the Expedition Champion, I think. No, it has to cost 2 or less, I guess. So I could just take it here and play the Spare Supplies, because he could have something scarier. I think I'll just do that. Take 2 for now. And now I can play the Kite Sail, I guess, and I can get this flying, never mind. Even better. I could have considered killing this, because he can attack me back for 4, but I still think it's fine taking it here. Because it's going to be a Red-White Warriors deck, and it's a high chance he has a Warrior that he's going to play out next turn. Well, Spitfire Legak is in the Warrior, so I guess I'm fine taking 2. This Shaya is going to be pretty large. Hopefully he doesn't have a removal spell for that. So what choices do I have? I can kick the Bloodchief's Thirst, kill the 3-4. I can play out Dauntless Survivor, sack the Spare Supplies, or just Ashaya looks decent here. It's already a 7-7. And I can even use this as a Mana Rock, which There's also a nice flexible bonus of Ashaya, but I'm probably going to equip the Kite Sail Haven onto this eventually for 2 and put him on a 2-turn clock. So he needs to find removal for Ashaya here. If he swings with both, it might indicate some sort of removal trick. Okay, Feldar Retreat is a bomb. So I might have to close out this game quickly. Probably makes a 2-2 here. Pings me, okay. I probably need to start assaulting him, so I guess I don't mind moving. He's probably just going to chump this, so I think I have to move this over to Ashaya and start assaulting him in the air. I can play land. I guess I don't mind playing a Dauntless Survivor here. And then I can play I can put the counter onto I guess on the 2-2 so he can block off the other 2-2, or unless he uses landfall. And I can maybe just sack the spare supplies end of turn. Don't necessarily need to use okay. I guess this is a forest, so that allows me to ramp, so that's pretty cool. So I guess I could just sack the spare supplies main phase and don't need to represent anything here. Okay. I can use a 1-1 to chump block his biggest threat, so I can still survive here. If he puts a flyer, I can just Bloodchief's Thirst and kill it. He needs like Nahiri's Binding to deal with this, but if he doesn't, it's going to be a problem. I can still take 3. I don't think there's like some insane pump trick that can kill me out of nowhere here, so I'll just take 3 here. A Myriad Captain, okay, I'll just kill that. So yeah. Ashaya doing a lot of work. And the Cliffhanger Kite Sail giving it evasion, so I'm quite happy I actually tech this into the deck. And then we can get him for lethal now. Right, so Cliffhaven Kite Sail doing a lot of work. Perfect for our giant green beefy creatures. Opponent even got a Feldar Retreat, which had a chance of going off. And they even had like Kargan War Intimidator and the Expedition Champion, which are very scary cards. Even a Myriad Captain, so even against a very good deck, we managed to steal that one. So let's keep playing. Blightblade, okay, Rabbit Bite seems good, and we can even play Nissa on turn 4. I think this is a decent curve, since the Blightblade can kill something with Rabbit Bites, and then it can also trade off for something scary. So we'll see. Do I need to play out this Cliffhaven Kite Sail? Like, it's not a bad idea, but it still costs 2 to equip. So it might be even better, it might be better to just hold on to it for now. Yeah, I'll just hold on to it for now. I don't see a reason playing it. Because from 1 mana, it just equips automatically, and there's no real point of playing it, to be honest. Hopefully it doesn't play a scary 2-drop. If it's a Vine Gecko, I'm definitely Rabbit Biting it. I could see like a Zulaport Duelist trying to ambush this, so there could be that could be a reason to maybe he's bubble snaring this. Okay, that's fine. I guess I'm happy just playing out the Ghastly Gloom Hunter anyways. As a 2-mana 1/1 lifelink, just to develop my board. Okay, I guess it's time to deploy Nissa. I guess I'll move the attacks first. There's no flash flying until turn 5. He could counter this, but I think I have to go for it. Actually, I should have done this pre-combat, but
I will defend the land from all interlopers.
Yeah, I misplayed this. Oops. Could have gotten in for 3. But I attacked main phase to play around something, so yeah, maybe it wasn't correct, but Can't be Bailoff. We can Rabbit, by the way. So it's nice flexibility having the option to keep up the Rabbit Bite. So what I can do now is I can tap the Forest, untap it, still have 2 floating. I think I need to Rabbit Bite this away for sure, so I guess we might as well Rabbit Bite now. And I could attack for 3 or deploy the Hagra Constrictor. I think I'll deploy the Hagra Constrictor. It's a little bit risky not doing so. And next turn I can even -5. But it won't work on Ashaya, I guess, since it's 5 or more, but it's pretty solid if I have a cheaper creature. Spare supplies, okay. So guess I'm just gonna tap the Forest for mana. Guess I'll just play the spare supplies. Hit a land. I don't really want a -5 on this. The question is, am I fine chumping? Guess I don't mind chumping the Bailoff with the flyer. I mean, if I get land, I'm going to play out the Ashaya anyways, instead of chumping the Gnarly Colony, so I don't know here. Maybe I just attack and then let Nissa go down to 1. Which is okay. Because I can still untap lands, and he's at 7 loyalty. Yeah, maybe I just attack like this. Nissa goes down to 1, and I can still pressure him. Or maybe I just play out the Gnarly Colony anyways, unkicked. And I can decide whether or not I want to chump the 4/3 or not. And makes it more likely he might use a removal spell on this. And if he does, that's fine. Okay, those are fine mills because I'd rather have a land on top. So he might just turn this into a 6-power creature and attack Nissa, which I'm still okay with. What's this for 1 mana? A Bubble Snare, that's pretty annoying. So you can attack Nissa for 6. I can chump this next turn with the 1/1 Lifelinker, which I don't mind. So what I can do is I can play out land. Cast Ashaya. And then, yeah, I guess he's just dead here anyways, because he used both of his Bubble Snares on 2 creatures and he can't answer Ashaya, so... Yeah, nice Bomb Mythic, and then Nissa is also a pretty strong card. I missed out on 3 damage earlier since I could have played Nissa main phase. But, I don't know, I was playing around something, I don't know what I was playing around. Even if he had counters, I guess I was playing around counter spells, so in case he had some way to interact with my Blight Bat, I make him tap out, and then Nissa has a less chance of being countered, but overall that game was exactly how this deck is supposed to play out. And the Kite Sail Haven also pretty solid, just to giving our creatures flyings, since we're mostly ground creatures. We're mostly playing ground creatures, and we need some way to just deal damage in the air and close out the game. And Ashaya is perfect with the Kite Sail, the Cliffhaven Kite Sail, since she can grow pretty large and then attack for like a huge amount of damage in the air. I'm still wondering why Nissa became black-green in this set. I think I need to like read up on the story, but it's kind of strange. Maybe she becomes like the new Liliana. Actually, you didn't hear me say that. So I'm not into MTG lore. I just play the game. But I mean, the lore is cute. I don't mind like reading about it and hearing about it, but I'm not so into it that I'm willing to cosplay or, you know, get so obsessed about and collect every story because, yeah, it's not my thing. I'd just rather just play the game. Alright, opening hand. Malachir Rebirth. I guess we have a 2-drop, Subtle Strike, Rapid Bite. It's okay. I think I might just keep the Rebirth as a spell in this game. We're on the play, so I guess I'm keeping. And I guess I don't care about... I'd rather just prevent a bit of flood by keeping this in my hand. But if I do get something pretty expensive, like Nissa on 4, I'll consider playing this tapped on turn 2. Now, it depends if we top deck Nissa, I'm probably going to play this tapped. If not, we're just going to leave with a Swamp and go from there. We can also just play out Cliffhaven Kite Sail and then keep up Subtle Strike. Okay, Spare Supplies isn't bad. I guess I'll just play out the Spare Supplies instead and see what I end up drawing to inform my decision whether or not I want to play a tapped land, okay? Maybe I just play this tapped now since I'd rather have this kicked on turn 5. Yeah, there's really no reason for me to play out the Cliffhaven this turn. Let's just play it tapped. And I do want to kind of ramp this out if I can. Get this on 5 and kick this, I mean, so it becomes a 4-4. This is a fine target to Rapid Bite away too. So next turn maybe we can sack this. Scale the heights, okay. Guess it's out of Rapid Bite range. But we can still maybe attack into it. And see what happens. Alternatively, I can play out the Cliffhaven's Kite Sails, or I can stay back. Yeah, let's just attack for 2. He's probably going to expect something here. Guess this is kind of bad if he has like a practice tactics, which can completely blow me out. Okay, I guess he's just gonna take it. And maybe I can just sack this end of turn. Or I can even sack this main phase even. Yeah, let's sack this main phase. There might be something, a 2-mana play that I can make. Like another Gnarly Colony, which I don't really care about. Yeah, let's just say go. I'm fine taking 2 back. I could have actually played this tap too. So then I could have guaranteed a Gnarly Colony kicked. So that could have been a misplay. But if I get lucky and top deck a land, that's quite nice. Opponent's gonna suspect. Ooh, that's a good one. Might have to Subtle Strike and then use Rapid Bite to kill this. Since it's a 4-4, that's pretty difficult to contend with, and I'll have to 2-for-1 myself to deal with this, which isn't great. If I get a land and kick the Gnarly Colony, I can eventually Rapid Bite, so I can consider that instead. And yeah, kind of punished here for not playing this tapped. So I think I'd do the combo here. Yeah, punished heavily, so if I top deck a land next turn, I might regret this. Because having this kick to fight the 2-3 can be quite decent. But I guess, I still don't have to play this because this is going to become a 3-3, which can fight the Cliffhaven Kite Sail next turn, so maybe I just do it now. Yeah. And I have to do this rabbit bite play, otherwise I'm gonna take too much damage. Do I play this tapped? No, I probably need the removal spell. Deal with the 2-3. So I'm probably gonna use the colony ambush on the 2-3 eventually. Otherwise, this is just gonna give him an anthem effect in the late game, which I can't allow him to do. But yeah, that's a pretty gnarly 2-for-1 I had to do to myself. But yeah, if I do play this tap, it's not going to be great. Since if I top deck a land, that's going to be an issue. Okay, that's going to be a problem. That can be eventually become a 6-6. Okay, now we got our land, so... play a land here. Do I attack? Okay, we're entering maintenance phase. I think I could just attack here. He doesn't have any good double blocks. And maybe I just kick a Gnarlid Colony. Yep. I don't know if I can outrace a 6-5. Probably not. But maybe if I can take 6 and keep swinging back, that's good. But he probably has a removal spell lined up at this point, which will slow me down. Let's see when the maintenance time is, so I don't end up accidentally disconnecting. Alright, so I lose my 6-5, that's not good. Yeah, that's very bad. But I guess I can chump it at least and not take too much damage, although I'm falling behind by allowing this to happen, so... yeah, not great. So what do I do now? I guess I kick another Gnarlid Colony, I can take 6, and then... yeah, it's not great. I think we just play out the Gnarlid Colony. And we might as well give flying to the Gnarlid Colony here. And then I'll attack in for 3, which he most likely won't block. Take 6 here, and then hopefully we can outrace him. Yeah. I think it was better playing this tap, so I could have gotten this as a 4-4 down earlier. And that would have maybe made a difference, but now, I guess he had a fight spell anyways. Okay. GG's. Not surviving this. I don't think I have enough to deal 9 damage. I also don't have my pump trick, so... okay, I guess the schedule maintenance isn't now or anytime soon because I don't see any updates on, so I'm just going to keep playing. And if we get disconnected, we get disconnected. There's nothing I can do about it, so... the Bailoff's definitely been an overperformer in this set. It's just really scary to face, and it just becomes a 6-5 attacker every single turn. Since 4-mana 6-5 is very awesome, if you think about it, just very difficult to block. Alright, so opening hand, no green mana, although we do have Vine Gecko, so it can be pretty decent if we pick up some kicker cards early on. I'm on a draw, so I have some extra draw steps to get green, so I don't hate just keeping this. And there's our green source, excellent. I think I'll lead with the Tajuru Blightblade and maybe eventually just use this Malachir Rebirth as a spell. So black-white life gain, pretty scary. It's attacking for 1. There's no flash creatures here I need to be aware of. There could be Subtle Strike, but we're just going to play out Vine Gecko here. Marauding Blight Priest, I think I'm fine killing because that's gonna eventually just get out of hand, I think. So I guess we'll just feed a swarm and kill it. Did I use a Malachite Rebirth? I guess I don't mind since in white there's a bunch of Oh, I guess I played my land out already. Yeah, I'll just kite sail this up on our Vine Gecko in case he puts a ground blocker next turn and I need to curve out the Taunting Arbor Mage. But yeah, this card can be really annoying, just being able to drain me per turn. Okay, he had a kill spell anyways, but we couldn't keep up Malachite Rebirth, so who cares. Ooh, Constrictor isn't bad, okay. Guess we'll play that out. And I'll just play this tapped as a tapped land in case I tap deck a green source, because I do need to play out the Ashaya eventually. And luckily enough, I didn't have any kicker spells to even use this to ramp with, so... Okay, he's just gonna maybe cast this again. Pretty annoying card. Ooh, Adventurer? I think we're just fine attacking with both, playing out the Taunting Arbor Mage, and then maybe we can play out the Adventurer next turn. Although I would love to kick this, I think I need to give a discount for this so I can play it next turn if I have nothing. And hopefully the Ashaya and the air can help close out the game. And yeah, I guess I'll leave the Adventurer since that can bait out a removal spell better. I'm definitely attacking here. Practice Tactics, pretty annoying, okay. I guess I don't mind a trade here. And then I'm going to play around... yeah, actually we have enough party members for this, so I'm going to play around removal spell by playing Veteran and Adventurer first. So if he has like a Deadly Alliance, I'd rather have him kill this instead of Ashaya. Cliffhaven Kite Cell, giving this flying, okay. So he also has a flying creature. Yeah, let's just play out Ashaya. Do I need to Cliffhaven here? Not really. Just attack with both. If he wants to trade for my Blightblade, that's fine. And Ashaya to the rescue here. And I'll play out the land just to grow Ashaya. Guess I can even equip if I want to. Yeah, let's just equip. So you maybe drew into a removal spell, Feldar Retreat, but that's not going to do it, I don't think. He's forced to chump the 5/5 or at least trade off for the token Subtle Strike. Is that going to accomplish anything? Not really. I guess I can put a counter onto this, play Hagra Constrictor, and that's lethal. Okay, yeah, I guess that's a play. Easy victory. And has Menace, so he can't block the 10, 11, 11 anyways. Alright, Ashaya closing out the game again. That was a really nice curve. If he killed my rogue, then that would have been a problem since I wouldn't be able to ramp out the Veteran Explorer and get the discount, and that could have been a issue. But the fact that I play the creature every turn is what kind of won us the game. Alright, so 5-1, one more win, we can get back 1.4k gems, and then yeah, we're still in a good position to get to 5 or 6 wins, so let's keep this up. Now that I think about it, I could just play the Cleric over the Stonework Pack Beast in this deck since it at least drains them a bit. Opening hand, it seems okay. I can just play this on turn 1, play this tapped. It seems good. And then on turn 3, play out the Hagra Constrictor. Keep up the Colony Ambush in case I need to fight something off. Or I can just play the Swamp. I don't mind just attacking here and even just using Bloodchief's Thirst to get rid of 2/2. If he blocks this, I think I'm just going to use the Malachite Rebirth. But if not, yeah, just killing this is fine for now. It's perfect. It's annoying 2/2 that can eventually make me unable to block his warriors. And the colony ambush can also help me fight, so I'm going to keep this. And we have 4 lands in hand, so it's nice having these modal dual-face lands giving us flexibility. Guess I'll attack here, and if he blocks, I'll use a Malakir Rebirth to revive it. Fine curving out with the Haggard Constrictor. And I'm okay taking 2 or 3 from this Rotag Bugcatcher. Could have a removal spell here, which I'm fine if he does. Like, I do lose 2 life with this, but I still get back my Death Toucher, which can block quite nicely over and over. I'm probably not going to block this Celebrant, though. Pretty annoying. Okay, maybe I could block this, like 4 damage is a lot. Yeah, 4 damage is a lot, and this is going to trample for 2. Sure. I don't think I can attack past this 1/4 anytime soon, so I might as well take the least damage possible. Stonework Pack Beasts, okay, I guess I'll play it and keep up Malakir Rebirth. And I'll trade for the 3/2 V attacks. I guess this can ping. No, I guess, sorry, that was the other card. Never mind. We'll just stay back with this. So he's going for some sort of red-white party deck. So if he has like the has something here that can be pretty annoying. Teeter Peak Ambusher, we can eventually trade and block that off. Hopefully get some of my expensive creatures eventually to beat down with. I could just block this here and just use the Malakir Rebirth, but I'd rather use on the Titter Peak, I think. Yeah, I don't think I want to fire off anything now, just take 1, it's not a big deal. And no Pack Beast, okay. So, just a mediocre party deck, I think. I don't think I need to be too afraid of anything here. And that was his last final card, so... Okay, Taunting Arbor Mage can be a decent ground blocker. So he might just attack with all. Blightblade will go in front of 1/3, 2/1 will go in front of 3/2. I could even just save this Arbor Mage, to be honest. Actually, I guess we just play it here. I'll just play it. I don't need to make him block everything. And we can still keep up the Malakir Rebirth and hold off this Titter Peak Ambush. Sure. And get back the Death Touch creature. Just to have another good ground blocker. Or I can keep it and use it for another bigger bomb. Interesting how he's only attacking the 3/2. Yeah, I'm definitely trading with the 2/1. I don't see a reason not to. Yep. And he's keeping this back so I don't have a good block on it. Okay, Dauntless Survivor. Okay, it's... let's see here. The Dauntless Survivor, I can put a counter on my Taunting Arbor Mage. Or I can put it in front of Blightblade and use it to fight eventually onto the core Celebrant, so I don't hate that. Yeah, let's put on the Blightblade here, and I can actually fight off the core Celebrant with it, so... I guess I just do it now, right? Since it's a pain in the butt to deal with and he's just gaining a bunch of life. And we're just clearing a path here, so that's fine. Say go. And I can just trade off for the Titter Peak Ambusher now, since I guess I'd rather save the Malakir Rebirth for something more beneficial later. Yeah, I guess this can't even pack past the 2/1, so I might as well block it and force him to pump. Well, he had Tactics in his hand, okay, so I might have to double block this eventually. And there's Nissa. Yeah, I do need to tap black for Nissa, but that's fine. I'll double block the Titter Peak, or I can chump it.
The swamps come to my aid.
Let's just attack with the 3/3. And I can start pressuring with Nissa, and I'm fine double blocking the 1/3, so I can kill it. And then I can take 2 from the Stonework Pack Beast if he decides to assault Nissa. Yeah, I'm double blocking Titter Peak. I can't allow this card to get out of hand here. And I'm fine if he wants to double pump and kill both and 2-for-1 me here, because this is going to be a problem later. And taking and having Nissa take 2 isn't a big deal. He needs to pump if he wants to kill everything. So this is going to use up his whole entire turn.
Zendikar has suffered enough pain.
Yeah, let's just keep making lands. We definitely need some creatures to get going, so
Protect my home.
I could just play out the Rebirth now to trigger Nissa and give it landfall and give it a counter, but it's still a little bit too early, I think. There's a chance I just could find a good blocker and Nissa survives. Hopefully no 2 damage to Nissa. Tactician is annoying, okay. Preacher, please. Alright, a land is not what I want. So I guess Nissa's dead. That's pretty annoying. Not finding any creatures, but at least we have our lands to play our big bombs. But yeah, Nissa's gonna have to say bye-bye, and maybe we can find a big creature to play eventually, so we can, I guess this is gonna grow too, since it's a warrior. That's really bad for me. Please, game, give me some creatures. I don't know why he's an attack with a Stonework Beast, he can just pump it. Yeah, that's really annoying. I guess he pumps the Power Tactician itself. Yeah, that sucks. Nissa was kind of our only way out, I think. But I mean, I guess we have Ashaya to maybe top deck into, or the Veteran Adventurer. Please give me a creature. Okay, that's a good one. Although, yeah, I guess I'm forced to kick this, and I don't have mana to keep up with the Malakir Rebirth, so hopefully it survives, and then we can just kind of grind the opponent out with the life gain. Do I block this? Probably not. I'm fine just taking 4. He could just be bluffing here. Yeah, definitely not blocking this. I'm fine just taking 4. I can race him with the flyer, and then the Malakir Rebirth can protect it. And Subtle Strike is pretty good, so I think I'll just Subtle Strike now, and I still have access to Malakir Rebirth to get my Gloom Hunter going. Although it's just going to come back as a 1/1, so it's not necessarily going to be amazing. Okay, that's fine. I still get a counter, I can still attack for 4 and gain 4. So opponent's just going to be dealing a little points of damage to me per turn, but 6 damage to me per turn, but I can eventually just outrace him with the life gain, so that's good. I'm hoping I just don't draw any more lands, because the opponent has been drawing lots of playables in the meantime, and that's not good for me. Yeah, even if he kills this, it's not good, since it just comes back as a 1/1, and all it's going to do is hold off the 2/1, so even then, like, getting this back isn't great, but it's something at least. Okay, he's drawing lands, that's good. Hey, we're drawing lands too, let's keep drawing lands. This is a game of whoever draws the most lands wins. I don't think he can kill me out of 12 out of nowhere here. I guess with Rolly Russian he can, but he doesn't have it, so okay. So kind of dodged a bullet there. This was a weird match where all of our creatures just vaporized really quickly, and then we were kind of at a top deck war. Kind of got lucky with the Gloom Hunter and him not having a removal spell right away to deal with it. So, and he was also playing a weird janky deck, which actually managed to synergize pretty well. So you can get away with that in this set. And he was drafting 3 colors, so kind of took the hard route, so I have to congratulate my opponent for taking that direction. Anyways, yep, we've got back most of our gems. We do have a chance to get to 7, so let's keep firing this off. Actually, let's put the cleric back in the deck. Like we don't have cleric synergy anyways, so I don't care about the Stonework Pack Beast being versatile. The life drain from the Malakir cleric can actually be more useful than the Stonework Pack Beast at this point. So we're just going to ditch the Stonework Pack Beast and pull in the Malakir Blood Priest. Let's see, any other things we want to consider? With the Malakir Rebirth, I don't think we need Oblivion's Hunger to protect our 1/1 counter stuff. Although it does draw us a card. Some of our creatures don't have counters, and that can be kind of awkward. But it's definitely feasible. If I have a million +1/+1 counters, synergies going on, this would be a great card for the deck, but it's not really playable outside of it. Yeah, and then we don't even have clerics anyway, so this will fill the role of the cleric and drain the opponent. So I'd rather have the drain effect than the Stonework Pack Beast, which definitely doesn't seem super amazing in this deck. I could also consider the Turn Timber aesthetic on 5, but again, I think it shoves a decent amount of 5s in the deck already. And this is like a decent 6-drop too. This is like almost a 5 or 4-drop. Yeah, some decent top end already, so hopefully this can still get there. Otherwise, we could add in Turn Timber aesthetic or Dreadworm Pride aesthetic more than the Dreadworm. But I still like the Double Dauntless Survivor, I think. Visual Blightblade on 1. And, you know, we can still recur our big bombs, so even if they end up dying, that's fine. So yeah, let's just keep this up. Yeah, and still even split, I think, since we just added a another black card in the deck. We should be fine if we keep 8/8. So most of these games that we won, I think we kind of got lucky. Some games are just very close with this deck. Honestly, there's just way better decks than the one that we currently have right now, but sometimes you get lucky and you can steal 4 wins or 5 or even 6 or 7. With a good deck, I think this deck is good. I just don't think it's broken, at the very least. Great solid removal, decent curve, some nice late game curve toppers. Solid deck overall, and then opening hand, not bad. Yeah, I mean, I might play this tapped, depending on whether or not we get lands or not, but we're on the play, I think I'll keep. I'm fine just playing Forest and then playing this on turn 2, I think. And then we'll decide whether or not we want to play the Colony Ambush on turn 3 tapped, and then Ghastly Gloomhunter. Or I can play the Gloomhunter first and put a counter onto it. Never mind, that's even better. So I can start gaining lifelink immediately. Opponent splashing, reclaim the waste. Okay, could play a Spare Supplies, but we're just going to play out the Gloomhunter here. And yeah, start putting counters onto it, and we'll decide whether or not we want to play this tap next turn. Which we might, since our creatures are small anyways. Elemental is a problem. Okay, we could just get greedy here and play the land and fight this off next turn. I think I'll do that, since this can hit pretty hard. So yeah, I'm going to take a risk here, play out the land instead of the ambush. And then, do I want to play the Kite Sailhaven on the 1/1? It's not amazing, so maybe I just keep it. And maybe I can outrace this Brushfire Elemental, dealing damage to me. But I'm definitely going to try to fight it next turn with the Colony Ambush if I can. He does keep up mana, so maybe I still stay back. Actually, I do need to swing, so if he has a Practice Tactics, which he probably doesn't, that's fine. Play the Visionary. And I could just trade off for the 1/1 here with the Visionary. The 3/3, I mean. And maybe force him to use some sort of trick, and then maybe we can fight this off. Or we could take it, and then he's going to have to spend his mana his whole turn playing another creature. But maybe I'm fine taking the block here, because the block is pretty good. Like, the 3/2 isn't going to be amazing later, so I think the block is fine. And then maybe we can save the fight spell for something else. Land would be good off the top. No land, but let's see. I don't mind just the Constrictor here, and then playing out the Kite Sailhaven onto the 1/1. Can be decent. And then we can attack in for 3. And still keep the ambush in case he plays another annoying creature that we don't mind fighting. And then if we don't get our land, we can still play Spare Supplies next turn and play Feed the Swarm in case something happens. So this counter onto the Ghastly Gloom Hunter definitely doing a lot of work. So Gloom Hunter is definitely great in the black-green +1/+1 counters deck and the white-black life gain deck, but outside of that, I don't think it's amazing. I'll definitely never play this in the Ninja's deck. But in a mid-range deck like this, where you can enhance it, it's definitely quite good. So this is great. Probably kills this turn, but we still have 3 damage going on. Not blocking the 3/2, since this menace counter can be pretty important if he has an extra flyer. And we're winning the race either way. Yep, price the rebuke here. Okay, so there goes our life gain, but we did stabilize and we're racing ahead of the opponent, so... Okay, Rabbit Bites. Okay, the opponent just seems to have everything this turn. Okay, I can Blood Beckoning everything back. That's quite nice. I think I'll just do that here. Yeah, let's just Blood Beckoning everything back. And yeah, the Gloom Hunter and Jiraga Visionary seems very good. And I might as well just play this tapped now, since our creatures are going to be small anyway, and I need the extra mana to double spell. And we're not going to block a 3/2. So this seems solid. We also have a Feed the Swarm on defense. I think I'm going to have to lose 6 life against this, which does suck, but I think I have to do it here. Yeah, this is too strong. And then I'm just going to play out the Colony to hopefully trade for this 3/2. Don't want to take a million damage here. Definitely trading. Hopefully nothing scary. Alright, nothing. I guess I don't mind just... he could have a removal spell for the Ghastly Gloom Hunter, but, like, when am I going to play it? I guess I could just take it slow and play Visionary and Spare Supplies. But let's play Spare Supplies first. Because he might have a removal spell for that instead. Yeah, and we'll play the Jiraga Visionary. Just cycle through the deck to find more stuff in case there's something better, and then we're just drawing a million lands, so kind of happy that I actually just cycle through the deck, so now it's a higher chance that I end up finding playables. Just playing all these lands. Okay, Blightblade isn't bad. I guess I'll just kick my Gloom Hunter now. And this leaves me 1 mana open for the Blightblade. And I can attack for 1 in the air, and then if he kills my Gloom Hunter, I still have my Jiraga Visionary to, I could have kept this back, maybe, to trade off for the 2/1, but I'm fine still taking 2 here. Okay, Synchronized Spellcraft. Question is, do I mind... I think I'm taking 2 here. I'm not going to trade my 1 mana Death Touch for a 2/1. It just doesn't seem very good. Okay, let's main phase sack this. Since we do need to find some stuff. Alright, counters isn't bad. I guess I'm just going to be moving this here. And I'll put him on 2-turn clock by giving this a counter. And then I can attack with... Yeah, I guess he doesn't have anything. So the Cliffhaven Kite's still doing a lot of work. Just giving some extra win conditions in the late game. So I'm quite happy main decking 1 copy in these mid-range decks. Maybe even an aggro deck a copy isn't that bad. But yeah, 5-1, we're doing very good. And Sir Conrad, Mythic Uncommon, and Eldraine. But here, yep, 5-1. There's a huge chance we can even get to 7, hopefully. Opening hand, okay. I mean, I could play this tapped. How greedy do we get? I mean, we don't have any kicker spells, so I think this is a mulligan. We do have 2 extra draw steps, like I can still play this tapped. Play the Vine Gecko on 2. I guess I need to draw like 3 lands in a row, so I guess this is a mulligan. This isn't a great hand, but I'll keep it. Maybe I just ditch a Haggard Constrictor. Since the 3 mana 2/2 isn't great, and the Sol Strike might be a little bit important in this matchup, so I'll try this. Don't mind leading with a Gnarly Colony here. It's not going to be amazing, but I might even be able to put a counter onto it. Blood Priest, okay. I could just kill it now, but I think I'm fine taking 2, since Ithan Colony gets a counter, that's even better. So I'm fine taking full value out of this, taking 2 for now, and then using the Subtle Strike next turn to take out the Blood Priest. Angel Heart Protector, pretty good. He's gonna give it indestructible anyways, so now what? Vine Gecko's good, but I could also use this situation and attack. I mean, yeah, I guess we're not going to get value now, since maybe we're playing to block this and use the Subtle Strike. I don't know. Maybe I just play the 2-2, trade for the 3-2, and then we'll Subtle Strike it later. Say go. Definitely blocking the 3-2 of the 2-2 here, and then hopefully we can Subtle Strike this and get value onto our Vine Gecko instead. And we're fine taking 2 from the Malachir Blood Priest if he decides to attack. Like, this is a pretty perfect target for a Subtle Strike, but I still want to get a bit of value growing our creature, so kind of taking a greedy approach here, but it's still okay, I think. And we're missing our land drops, so that's a bit of a problem. Okay, Celebrant is fine. That we can maybe like kill with Feed the Swarm. I think I need to play this tapped. Question is, do we Subtle Strike now? Because I can kick the Bloodchief's Thirst next turn and grow the Vine Gecko. I don't know if I want to kill this. It can be very problematic. But maybe if he plays a scarier creature that gains synergy off of this, I'd rather just I'd rather kill that instead. So we'll just stay back. Keep up the Subtle Strike, maybe use on the 2-1 if we have to. Hope he doesn't kill this. I mean, we could Feed the Swarm and get rid of an enchantment if he tries to do that, but Marauding Blight Priest, that's going to be pretty annoying. Yeah, I guess we need to kill the Blight Priest, but not now. Yeah, we'll kill the Blight Priest next turn, maybe with like a Feed the Swarm, so we only take 3. And there's a lot of removal, so I think I'm going to spread the wealth by giving Gnarly Colony the -1/-1 counter. I mean +1/+1 counter, so this seems fine. Taunting Arbor Mage, we can't kick. I think I have to kill this right now before it gets out of hand, so I think I'm going to do it here. And we can eventually just kick the Bloodchief's Thirst. We're just going to say go. If he attacks for the 3-2, maybe I still throw the Gnarly Colony, so maybe it was better putting the counter on the Vine Gecko, but I'm not sure. Or we can still take 3 and maybe save this for a scarier bomb. Okay, he has to Feed the Swarm anyways, so maybe I trade for this. Yeah, I guess I'll block this. I could kick this and this gains a counter, but who cares at this point, I think. Okay, he's going to use a trick to keep it alive. I think this is the correct block. I don't think I want to block the Core Celebrant. Okay, that's annoying. So I might have to kick the spell. I guess the Draga Visionary trade, so that's better. I can save this for like a scarier bomb instead. I can even save this Rabbit Bite, but I think I'm trading for the 4-3 if he attacks. Or I could just take it, of course, but I guess if he has a trick, I can just... Okay, so Rabbit Bite looks good here. Let's just Rabbit Bite this out of the way. Probably a trick again. I'll make him use it. Okay, resolved. That's quite nice, so now I can play the Hagro Constrictor, and then we can go from there. save this for like a scarier bomb that we need to kill, and just say go. Core Celebrant, I think, is one of the top white commons in this set, given how powerful black-white life gain is. Okay, Blood Beckoning would have been great to get our stuff back with, but it is what it is. So do I need to kick this Bloodchief's Thirst to kill this 2-1? It is being pretty annoying. Or do I save it? Yeah, I think I have to kick it here. It's not good, but it is going to pressure us in the skies in the meantime, which is going to be pretty annoying. Does he have another trick? Yeah, just kill it now, I think. Crazy how this ate a premium removal spell. He might have a trick here now, maybe like the practice tactics at instant speed, since he needs like a party member to deal 4 damage here. So he probably has practice tactics, I don't doubt it. Okay, Vanquish. Sure, I guess that's fine. I just don't want to take too much damage here, and then maybe the Taunting Arbor Mage can be a removal spell if we find something big to play. And we currently haven't drawn any of our curve toppers yet, so there's still a chance that we find something big. Dauntless Survivor, ooh, I guess I can eventually just kick the Arbor Mage and force the Core Celebrant to block the 4-3, so that's pretty nice. Let's get in for 3 this turn. Just need to pressure him. If he attacks with a 1-4, that's going to be interesting. So the Arbor Mage won't get value off of this. I guess we'll just do it now. And then I can also attack with a 1-1. And he's forced to block this. And now we can clear a path and start assaulting him. And he's no longer has a passive life gain creature. But that's definitely a contender for one of the best white commons in this set. Now Nissa is a nice top deck. Okay. Yeah, Nissa for the win. For the concede, I mean. Alright, currently 6-1. Let's do an overview of this deck before we proceed to our final boss. Definitely this deck's overperformed. I think I've drafted better decks than this, but somehow this one still managed to overperform. And I've actually ended up with like 4 or even 5 wins with stronger decks like Grokma and the Moss Skeleton in the same deck. But that wasn't on a recording at all. So yeah, pretty strong black-green mid-range deck. In terms of our win conditions, Nissa, Ashaya, Veteran, Adventurer are all big, beefy ground creatures. Same as our colony on turn 5. We're running 15 lands plus the Malakir Rebirth, which will mostly come in as a land tapped, or the Colony Ambush. Most of our early creatures don't tend to be pretty big, so I guess the Colony Ambush has a higher chance of being played as a land anyways, but it's still a flexible fight spell in the late game, which plays perfectly with our big, beefy creatures that we're planning to play. We're also main decking a Cliffhaven Kite, which has been quite an overperformer, since black-green tends to only attack on the ground, and it has some issues dealing with flyers. Against other opposing aggro or mid-range decks, there might be just too many creatures on the battlefield to allow you to get a profitable attack in. So this card definitely overperformed. So we don't really have much at 4. We do have a bunch of top-end threats. I guess Veteran Adventurer has a high chance of being cast for 4, or even if we're lucky enough, 3 in the deck. The reason why is that we have a decent amount of party synergy, not too much, and that's good because this deck is not doesn't have too many payoffs for the party synergies. Outside of Veteran Adventurer, there isn't much. So it's nice to have at least one copy of a wizard. I guess two copies of a wizard, Taunting Arbor Mage and the Draga Visionary, two copies of a warrior, Dauntless Survivor, one cleric being the Malakir Blood Priest, and the Tajuru Blightblade as a nice one drop that plays well in the early game. In terms of our interaction, it's pretty solid. We have a double Bloodchief's Thirst, which is a very flexible, excellent removal spell. Great in the early game and definitely excellent in the late game. 4 mana, kill something at sorcery speed is very good. And then there's Feed the Swarm, which is a nice flexible removal spell. Also answers enchantments and nice. And the cheap cost is pretty nice if you want to double spell later on. Cell Strike, big fan of this card since it can also put a counter onto one of our creatures, and although we don't have too many +1/+1 counters pay off, it does matter with the Haggard Constrictor giving our creature menace. Yeah, we're not kind of, unlike the stereotypical black-green +1/+1 counters deck, we don't have too many payoffs, so it's just kind of like a weird like black-green good stuff deck that has a little bit of party synergy and a little bit of +1/+1 counter synergies going on. But not too much that we're able to at least like survive in the early to mid game and then try to win the game with like our late game bombs. So yeah, Cell Strike is always decent as a one of. Rabbit Bite also pretty good with the Tajuru Blightblade, and it's just a good removal spell in general. Colony Ambush could be a fine fight spell, but our early creatures tend to be small, so it's not going to be impressive. But it plays well in the late game, so it's a perfect modal dual-faced, double-faced card for this deck. And again, Malakir Rebirth can protect some of our bombs in the late game too, or can be played as a land earlier, so it's also great. I guess the Gloom Hunter is also kind of like a late game curve topper since it's mostly a 6-drop. So yeah, it's an okay deck. We were planning to start a kicker deck with a Vine Gecko, I think. No, we start with Nissa, and then we got, I think, Feed the Swarm, and then into Vine Gecko, which was kind of like a pretty nice setup for a black-green kicker deck. But, you know, overall, we didn't kick any spells to grow the Vine Gecko this entire draft. I mean, out of all these other matchups, so... but it's a nice upside to include with some of our expensive kicker cards. But even without it, I think we are able to get enough lands drops to get there. And then spare supplies, we don't have much card draw, so don't mind like a card that just... It's essentially a 4-mana draw 2 at the very least, where you don't lose life, unlike Blood Price. Blood Price you do lose life, and that can be a little bit detrimental against an aggro deck. And at 4 mana is kind of clunky. The spare supplies you can just play on 2, it replaces itself right away. And then if you have mana left open, you can eventually sack this after that turn. So yeah, it's okay, it's solid, and it just managed to overperform for some reason. As you can tell, there's no insane bombs beside maybe Ashaya. I don't think Nissa's insane. I think she's a good Planeswalker. Actually, she's very good, so never mind. These two cards are pretty insane, and then Veteran Adventure is good, and our Colony is pretty good in the late game. Ghastly Gloom Hunter pretty solid in the late game as well. So yeah, just a nice deck with 2 bombs, and that's pretty much it. And a bunch of removal, and then Blood Beckoning too to kind of get back our large creatures later. Also nice grindy card. So yep, it's nice having these molded dual face cards because I think this is mostly a 16 land deck if this ends up being used as a fight spell, but it's still 17 at the very least to kind of help us get through our kicker spells. Looking at the sideboard, earlier on we had a Stonework Pack Beast, but I realized it wasn't necessary that much because again we weren't focused too much on the party synergy. That was fine. It was fine not having that extra party member sometimes. And either way, the Malakir Blood Priest is still better because it still at least gains you a bit of life, unlike the Stonework Pack Beast. But I'd be happy to play a Pack Beast if we had more party payoffs. But it definitely isn't exciting in the deck, so the Blood Priest was a better replacement. Could have considered this Turn Timber aesthetic, but again, we have enough 5s, I think, that we don't need it. The 3 life gain is fine, and I'd be happy playing this if I didn't have much 5s, but it wasn't necessary. Marauder Brute, similar ordeal. We have 2 warriors already. We're not focusing on party. Definitely slightly better stats than the Taunting Arbor Mage, but the Taunting Arbor Mage has utility in the late game because sometimes if you have your big creature out, you can just make all creatures be able to block it, and then if you end up in some sort of situation where the opponent has a big blocker on the ground, and I mean like a blocker on the ground that um, I mean they might have some creature that it might be like a 1 versus 1 where they aren't going to block your creature. You can eventually just um, use this as an advantage to kind of force a block and kill something for free, maybe. I don't know. Like that last game, we managed to get the Jiraga Visionary to 4 power, kick the Taunting Arbor Mage to force the Core Celebrant to block. So that was pretty neat. Either way, it just had the extra flexibility bonus of having the kicker ability. That's the reason why. We're not really trying to beat down hard with a 3-powered creature that early, though it does have some upside. Broken Wings could also be main deckable, but I don't need it, I don't think. Marasa might have Marasa, same here, but it's a temporary effect. Pump spells are fine, but again, the fact that they're temporary effects don't make them super amazing and limited. You rather have permanent effects that affect the battlefield for um, multiple turns. Like even Subtle Strike at least can put a counter onto something. Cliffhaven Kitesail can stay on the battlefield and give our creatures flying. Like it's good in like a more aggressive deck where you're kind of going all in and you can just smash through. But overall, don't want to rely on Pump Tricks as a defensive removal spell sometimes because you can definitely get blown out by lots of instant speed interaction that the opponent might have. Strength, not great. I mean, I guess it could be fine in this deck maybe. Like, if we have enough party members, we can just put 3 counters onto something. But again, with so much removal in this set, it's not recommended that you kind of go all in, and it's more better to just kind of spread out your threats. So yeah, all-in strategies are not rewarded in the set too much. Could consider drawing a Silencer too with the party synergies, but of 6 mana, 3/2 is not exciting. At the very least, it might kill something, but still 6 mana, which I'd rather just kick a Ghastly Gloom Hunter. Dreadworm, filler 5 drop if we needed one. Oblivion's Hunger, we just didn't have enough +1/+1 counters. And then this is unplayable, and then the Expedition Skulker. Yeah, we don't care about putting too many rogues on the battlefield to get this Death Touch. Like, it could be fine if I had the Tajuru Blightblade and the Stonework Pack Piece, but it's still very situational. And we even, throughout the draft, I even hate drafted a Low Mage's Domination. I think I was going to take Oblivion's Hunger over this. I think that's a huge mistake. No way, I can't let this pass around the table. And then, like, we could have been blue-green kicker, but the black-green archetype seemed a little bit more open. Even though black seemed slightly cut off, the black-green archetype was open, and that's what mattered. And the mana base slightly favoring green, so like 9/8, but most of the time it's mostly just 8/8, 16. It feels more like 16 lands if we're going to use this as a fight spell, and that's fine. So yeah, overall, pretty solid deck, but nothing special, nothing amazing. Have 2 nice bombs that, if we're lucky enough to draw them, can help us win the game, but it's still not like impervious to more broken decks, and I definitely faced my share fare of broken decks in this set more than the guys the opponents we face today. So yep, hopefully we can get to 7 wins, or we might get swept. We'll see. There's been a lot of pretty difficult matchups in this Premier draft, since there's just a lot of very good drafters in this set in general. Especially at my rank, like you face against some insane stuff sometimes. Even people running 3 colors and just managing to pull off like 2 of their like mythic rares that are like double colored. Like I had a game where a guy splashed blue and still splashed the inscription of insight and kicked it against me. So you never know what you faced. Opening hand. Alright, it's not bad. We do have a Blood Priest. We can maybe leave with Dauntless Survivor, put a counter onto it, drain them for 2. Or we can lead with this first, and put a 3/2. Let's think here. Let's play land, and then let's just take 1 and decide where we want to go from there. I guess a Subtle Strike can eventually answer this, so I don't think I need to care too much about attacking into this or staying back. Vine Gecko is quite scary, so... So now what? I could lead with the Gnarled Colony, maybe put a counter onto it after I Subtle Strike this next turn, or I can leave a Dauntless Survivor, hold off the 2/2, take 1, because I'm planning to Subtle Strike anyways. I mean, I guess if I'm planning to put a counter onto a creature, I'd rather just put a Gnarled Colony at this point, so let's try that. Like, I can kick this on 5, but I'd rather just put a counter onto this earlier so I can give this trample at least. He could kick something here. I'm fine taking 1. I don't know why he's staying back with this. Hagra Constrictor, pretty solid card. So I could attack with a 2-2. He's probably just going to block with a 1-1 at the very least. So now what? I can just play land here. I could keep up Stellar Strike, or I can just play a Dauntless Survivor now. If I put a counter on Gnarled Colony, I could run into a Rabbit Bite. That can be quite bad. I need to put up 2 creatures to double block this, so that's kind of interesting. If I attack, he's probably just going to put the 1-1 in front of it, or not. Huh. Or I can play out the Malakir Blood Priest, which isn't all that exciting. Maybe I just drain him for 1. Like, how big of a deal is it draining him for 2? Probably not that big of a deal. Or I can put a counter onto this and hopefully it just doesn't get answered. I don't know, it's pretty interesting. Let's just play out the Blood Priest. I think it's the safest choice. I don't really care about draining him for the extra 2 damage. And we'll just say go. And also, we're kind of locked in black mana, so it's a reason to play this out. Since we're planning to maybe play a green spell next turn and cast Subtle Strike. So probably better off just to lead off with this. And as long as we can kill this 1-1, we can maybe drop Ashaya and we can be okay. So if that's kicked as a 5-5, that might just be a problem in this deck to face against. So he could just attack with the Hagra Constrictor, which I'm fine double blocking here. If he attacks with the Vine Gecko, that's also questionable here. Maybe I just double block it. Actually, I'd rather just double block the Hagra Constrictor. If I double block this, he 2-for-1s me. Then I don't have any good blocks in the future against the Hagra Constrictor, but this can just keep growing over time. I think I have to take it. Gloom Hunter, okay. So I guess I'll be playing out the Dauntless Survivor this matchup. And I don't see a reason of even putting a counter onto the Gnarled Colony, since if he attacks with a 5-5 anyways, it's gonna die. So yeah, I guess we're just gonna play the Dauntless Survivor here, put a counter onto itself, and then maybe we can set up some sort of double block for the Subtle Strike. So yeah, let's just keep it slow here. Maybe take 5 from this broken card. Do I want to double block this? Probably not. Maybe I just take 5 here. Yeah, I don't have any good double blocks. No blocks. Opponent's playing around Subtle Strike, I think, quite nicely here. Florahedron, okay. I think I'm still killing the Death Toucher. This does give him the extra mana, but I don't think I care. Guess I put a counter here. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I do. I could have run into like an opposing Style Strike, but I think this is fine. And I could kick the Gnarled Colony. Or play out Ashaya. I guess I'll kick the Gnarled Colony maybe, just to play defense a little bit better. I could also attack with a 3-2 this turn. Because if he has a removal spell, that's going to be a problem, and I want to play around that. So I guess I'll kick the Gnarled Colony here. Question is, do I attack? Probably not. I think I need to keep up all my blockers. Like, I could pressure him, but I think that's a little bit too risky. I guess I'll block the 5-5. I guess... I guess I don't have any good attacks. I might as well play Ashaya now, since it doesn't seem like he has a removal spell. And I can get him for a ton of damage. And I can even kick the Gloom Hunter next turn with the extra mana sources that Ashaya provides. And this can also hold off the 4-3 quite nicely. Hoping he just doesn't have a removal spell here. Blightblade is nice to hold off the 4-3. I don't think I'm attacking since he has good double blocks on this. I guess this can only add green mana, so that's a problem. Yeah, I wish I had my second black source. So if I attack with 11-11, he could just put a bunch of stuff in it and kill it. Do I want that happening? Not really, so I think we just play out the Blight Blade and pass. This is a 12-12. Yeah, even if I kill everything here, he's eventually gonna play the Moss Pit Skeleton, and then that's gonna be a problem. Another Vine Gecko, okay. They'll grow over time, but I still have Ashaya as a good blocker. Can I kick this? I think I need double black, right? Yeah, I guess I'll cancel this because I want to kick this as a 3-3. Could play out the forest too to grow this. Maybe that could have been better. But yeah, I think we just stay put. And Nissa's quite strong, okay. I guess now I can play Nissa.
To protect my home, I must take drastic action.
Play the land. And then play the forest.
The land will devour
So you go.
intruders.
Or I guess I can kick the Gloom Hunter now, so that's quite nice. No, actually I need another black, so never mind. I kind of got ahead of myself there. Because I need to pay black for Nissa, but next turn I can do it. I can pay black for Nissa. Skyclave Sentinel, okay. That can attack, so that's going to be a problem too. I'm fine throwing my Blight Blade in front of the Canopy Baloth. A removal spell would be nice off the top to deal with this, and there we go. Guess I kill it. It's double black, so I guess we're going to tap black first. Plus with Nissa. And then we're just going to kick this.
Come to my aid.
It's quite nice. And then no attacks. Get our 3-3 life linking flyer going. And I can throw my Blight Blade in front of this. Just Nissa providing the extra swamps is quite nice for me. And then I also have a bunch of stuff to play still. So opponent doesn't have any profitable attacks, so that's good. Ooh, Vine Gecko. So what I can do now is I can click the swamp, plus untap the swamp. Play out the Vine Gecko.
You cannot quell the royal.
And then kick the Gloom Hunter. Oops, what the hell? Oh, that's weird. Yeah, that's really weird. Let's just say go. I could have gotten this out sooner. What the hell happened? Did it just move to second main or something? That's definitely not something I want to see. He has his own Ashaya, which is a 15-15. Okay, I think I should be able to stabilize it still, against it still, so... He might attack with the 8-7 here. I'll put my Tajuru Blight Blade in front of it. Or I can chump block it. But maybe I need to keep the Death Touch for the 15-15. I guess my 14-14 can go in front of the 8-7 anyways. So he still doesn't have any good attacks. Could have gotten this out earlier. I don't know what the hell went on. I guess the auto tapper used the black mana for the Vine Gecko. So stupid. I wish it didn't do that. Yeah, that was bad. I don't know why the auto tapper did that. I could have gotten this out earlier, and it could have swung in for 3 at least by now. So, opponent's deciding if they want to attack. I say be my guess. This 14-14 can hold off his 8-7. I can double block the 5-5 for days. Still pass the turn, that's good. Hey, a Blood Chief's Thirst, I guess we'll just use that instead, so... Let's make sure we do it correct this time.
Cower before the elements.
And we'll just keep grinding him out here. And then we'll just say go. I could also attack here. But no, he still has good double blocks and triple blocks for me, so just need to keep grinding him out here, I think. That's fine. I guess now he can start drawing cards with his creatures that have counters on them, so... Finally a black source. Let's Play Nissa. Kick the Ghastly Gloom Hunter. Grow our Vine Gecko. Keep putting counters onto Nissa. And then I can eventually just... Yeah, I don't think I'm attacking here, and
We will protect my home.
I'm fine if he attacks and draws a bunch of cards. I could have gotten this out earlier, so that was pretty annoying. The stupid auto tapper used the black mana for the Vine Gecko, so this might cost me here. But I kind of have the value advantage here. Since now I can start minusing Nissa, and I can grow any creature that I top deck and give it a +1/+1 counter, so that's quite good. Punk could just go for an all-out attack here, and then sack all of his creature -1, his +1/+1 counters creatures that are about to die, and grow up the Skyclave Shadowcat. But I'm happy killing off the Haggard Constrictor if he goes for some sort of attack here. I just need the Wings of Hubris, I think. Visionary's nice, so let's just draw first. I guess this counts as a land with Ashaya, so that's really powerful. Oh man, yeah, this is very good. Guess I'll play out another land. I'm just drawing a bunch of lands at this point. I mean, I have 18 more playables. How many lands do I have left? It's at 15 loyalty. I wish it had some. I wish it had like some sort of There's no reach creatures, so let's get in for 3. Could let's see like a Vanquish the Weak here, but yeah, I think this will allow me to stabilize and climb back ahead. He's probably gonna stack a. No, he's not doing it yet. He's probably setting up for a turn where he can attack with all. I can always negate this and chump block the 5/4, so I don't really care. Okay, there we go. Finally, our win condition accomplished. Now we can get in with Ashaya and essentially just win the game. Unless he has a way to deal with our flyer. He's probably just trying to draw cards here. Yeah, he should be sacrificing creatures with counters to draw cards with. But yeah, he can't really deal with the flyers here, and then we pretty much got him. Okay, that was a pretty long, grindy matchup, so yeah, as you can see, the Cliffhaven Kite Sail being able to break board stalls was quite essential. But I also got kind of lucky top decking those Blood Chief's Thirst, and I did kind of, the auto tapper did kind of make a misplay for me, since I was supposed to play Vine Gecko that turn and then kick out the Blood Hunter in order to double spell at the same turn. But yeah, we managed to get there still. The opponent just probably didn't get lucky, or just had the worser deck, since I didn't see a lot of removal at all. There's barely any removal. I don't think he played a single Rabid Bite or Deadly Alliance. So I don't know. Maybe I just need to recall everything. But yeah, nice deck. I probably added this deck a million times already, but I'll add it again just to confirm. And yeah, this is a pretty nice draft. Let's crack some packs. Alright, let's pretend we're drafting Zendikar Rising, pack 1, pick 1, which we had the fine pleasure of opening today. Okay, pack 1, pick 1. Not a big fan of Legion Angel. It's a fine card. I wouldn't mind playing in any white deck if I have nothing else to choose and I need some type of flyer on turn 4 that can beat down pretty hard. But for the most part, the ability won't be used anyway, since I've said multiple times the Legion Angel is at rare, so it's highly unlikely you're going to have another copy. But if you do, randomly somehow, like through like a very low % chance, get a second Legion Angel, then this is a really powerful broken card. But I wouldn't take it here. The choice here is between Shatter Skull Minotaur and Merfolk Falconer. I think blue is a better color than red in this set, so I'd probably lean towards Merfolk Falconer over the Shatter Skull Minotaur, but Shatter Skull Minotaur is very good. It plays very well on the red aggressive game plan. Red has warriors, wizards, and rogues. So most of the time you have at least 2 of the party members covered, and then casting just does like a 4 mana 5/4 haste, or even 3 mana 5/4 haste is pretty absurd and difficult to block and deal with. So this is a pretty powerful card. I stated that white was the worst color in this set, and I definitely take that back. I think red is the worst color, since most of the commons again aren't super amazing unless you want to be very hyper aggressive. Royal Eruption is probably the best red common, and then Synchronized Spellcraft is at 5, which is kind of clunky, but still removal nonetheless. But yeah, I probably prefer the Merfolk Falconer. Blue is the best color in this set. It's a nice top-end flyer. There's enough disruption in blue to eventually just cast this, and then future kick spells can allow you to improve your draw steps in the late game, which is very important. So yeah, Merfolk Falconer over Shatter Skull Minotaur. Best common, Territorial Scythecat, big fan of it. I think this is in contention with maybe Jiraga Visionary as the best green common. Definitely prefer Rabbit Bite, but Territorial Scythecat is definitely a card that requires an answer for, or else it's just going to get out of hand. Like landfall creatures that can gain counters are typically very good in limited, since you convert lands into the late game that could have otherwise done absolutely nothing into value and spells. So yeah, this is definitely a scary card at common that is definitely a very high pick. But anyways, yeah, Merfolk Falconer. Alright, I'll take a Lotus Cobra, broken in standard. They haven't stated that they're going to ban this yet, but they'll eventually ban it, I think. It's just that this is a new set, and they're just not going to ban it yet. But yeah, this card is pretty much broken and constructed in general. It's just a powerful card anyways in limited. Like, essentially it's a mana rock every single time you play a land, so you get the extra ramp. So it seems pretty solid here, and it just keeps us open. Great in any green deck. And green is especially looking to ramp and kick in this deck, so that helps out with the synergies and the game plan. Good cards. Skyclave Cleric is okay. I think the MDFC, some of them are overrated. Obviously, the added flexibility is quite nice. And I wouldn't mind playing this in the black-white life gain deck or any white deck in general. And if this is going late and there's nothing else I want in the pack, it can be pretty solid to just pick this up as a dual face land, but some of them are just overrated, I think, from the pros. Core Blade Master, pretty great if you're playing in the red-white Warriors equipment deck, and this can definitely get out of hand if you draft like 2 equipments and play a bunch of Warriors, but it's still very narrow. I'd probably go Lotus Cobra into Nahiri's Binding. Yeah, and I did state Nahiri's Binding is a pretty difficult removal spell to cast and runs into problems like Feed the Swarm and into the roll in the set. But overall, it's still a solid removal spell. It's definitely worse than Rolling Eruption and all the other removal spells from the other colors, but that doesn't make white the worst color, I think. White just has so many excellent party synergies, and it just plays well with a lot of the other colors. Red, however, has not been too impressive so far, especially red-black, unless you open up Zagras, of course. And the red-blue wizards, too. Most creatures tend to be small. But yeah, I think I take Nahiri's Binding anyways, even though it's probably the worst removal spell out of all the other colors at common. Okay, Yasharn is pretty strong. Yeah, this package is mediocre. Relic Golem is pretty solid in the blue-black Dimir Mill deck, but it can be quite slow, so you don't really want to rely on this activated ability to start milling cards from your opponent, because a 3-mana 6/6 that can't block or attack early is pretty bad. It's pretty much near useless. You're doing absolutely nothing. It does have the activate bonus, of course, milling the opponent as a win condition in the late game, or enabling this attack. But you rather have other spells to enable stuff to put in the graveyard. And if you're able to block or attack with this can be pretty nice in the late game. So yeah, Relic Golem is pretty solid in the blue-black mill deck, but I wouldn't take it over Yasharn pack 1, pick 1. Just a nice 2-for-1 or 3-for-1, since you're getting 2 lands, thinning out your deck, and then you can start using those lands to enable landfall synergy. So pretty strong card. Don't think it's broken, but pretty solid. Alright, this pack sucks. Best common is like, I don't know, Titter Peak Ambusher. Even then, I'm not really a big fan of this card unless you can make it unblockable. Yeah, there's a Nimble Trapfire, and I think that card is very okay. It's a rogue, so it plays decent in the mirror. You can make it unblockable, but getting a full party assembled is hard. If you're able to, it is very good, but if you're focusing on getting a full party, your game plan is kind of fragile since killing a single one of those party members can upset the entire game plan. It's better party mechanics are better if like the party mechanics give like discounts to a spell instead of actually requiring you to get a full party. So I'm not a big fan of the Nimble Trap Finder, so that pack was just bad. Lotus Cobra definitely second pick between Nahiri's Binding and Rockslide Sorcerer. Probably still Nahiri's Binding to stay open. And again, white is a good color in this set. I definitely take it back, seeing that's a worse color. White Black Light Green is a top tier archetype, and white again plays very good with all the other colors too. And I think White Blue Party is definitely better than Black Red Party. Rockslide Sorcerer wants to go into the Blue Red Spells deck, of course, but it is still conditional. Still ties you into an archetype. Good card, but I'd rather have the open flexibility of taking the Nahiri's Binding. And again, white is a good color. I'm totally sorry if some of you got the wrong info, but I think white is really strong. They just have really good creatures at common, like the Shepherd of Heroes. They have Nahiri's Binding is a good removal spell. Great rares and great uncommons too. Red is kind of lackluster outside of the removal spells like Ruling Eruption, Shattered Skull Summit, or Synchronized Spellgraph or Thundering Rebuke. It's kind of an all-in game plan where you need to be hyper aggressive. So yeah. Okay, Archpriest is fine. Obviously, getting a full party is hard, but hey, if you can play this on turn 1 as like a 1/2 and then constantly grow this, then that's a good card. And yeah, this is another nice party payoff, obviously, if you do have a full party, which is, again, quite difficult, but it's a good card. This is very good. It still plays great in the Black-White Life Gain deck since it's a Cleric, and it's just an excellent one-drop. It still has the flexibility of being in any other color. Mind Carver can be pretty broken in the mirror if you can get this going. Like, just turning any creature into a 3/1 is already quite broken. Like, imagine turning like a 1-mana 1/1 into a 4/2. Yeah, that's quite broken. So, yeah, if you're able to mill the opponent enough, get 8 into the graveyard, Mind Carver is just a very excellent, close to like a bomb in a blue-black mill deck. So, definitely a key component. But yeah, there's also Feed the Swarm, which is a great removal spell. Blood Snare, which is strong. I think I would go pack 1, pick 1. Archpriest of Iona. Then between Feed the Swarm and Bubble Snare are close. Blue might be the better color than black in this set, but it's by slight. It's only slightly. I think the reason why black is slightly worse is because black just doesn't have any amazing threats, unlike blue. Feed the Swarm, I think, is just a better spell than Bubble Snare, either way. And black is still like second best color in this set. And yeah, just having this destroy creature or enchantment is just better than locking it down, because you never know what passive or activated abilities that the opponent might have that this doesn't do any significance against. But, you know, this is very good still. Like, 1 mana, the efficiency to tap a creature that just attacked is quite good, and then 4 mana, kicking this, locking something down big is quite nice. So Bubble Snare is great, but I'd probably still take Feed the Swarm over it. So there you go. There's our nice second green-black mid-range draft video. This one didn't focus too much on counters, but more on just I don't know, the party synergy, kicker synergy, and counter synergies. It wasn't an all-in synergistic deck, just relying on just surviving and then playing our late-game bombs to help win the game. So it's kind of just a grindy black-green mid-range deck. So there you go. Maybe I can do another video later, but that was a nice video, and the deck definitely overperformed. Didn't expect it to overperform because I've been, again, facing a lot of broken decks at this rank, especially a lot of blue-black Demir decks or white-black life gain decks with just so much insane synergy you just can't interact or ever possibly imagine winning the game. But there you go. Yeah, in the meantime, stay tuned for more content. If you have any questions, just leave a comment on my YouTube channel or this video, and I'll be glad to answer anything. And yeah, it may nothing too personal, but whatever. I'm not really anything. But whatever. Whatever. What am I even trying to say? It's about the game. Just stick with the game. So yeah, anyways, have a great day and take care. Bye.